Hey guys, it is Nice Clips back with another Degrassi commentary video 8 months later. Yeah, I don't know how many people are going to watch this, don't know how many of my viewers are still here. I got a lot of opinion submissions for this video, so I guess you guys are still here. I mean, not that many people make Degrassi content, so I feel like you guys are kind of just like stuck with me. But anyways, I thought what better comeback video to make than the iconic reacting to my subscribers' Degrassi opinions. If you don't know, I have 2 other parts to this video, so we're just gonna jump back in with part 3. I'm going to be putting my little 2 cents in on you guys' opinions like always, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Zoe and Grace were a couple with the most chemistry and potential. The whole summer special was just perfect ship tease. Ship tease, I like that. I'm gonna start saying that. I was so mad they didn't end up together, and Grace, who had a crush on Zig, was just disgusting, and Zoe and Rasha fell flat in comparison. Yes, I agree with this. I shipped Zoe and Grace a lot. I loved the dynamic because they never really interacted much in The Next Generation. They were complete opposites. Zoe was like the dramatic, popular princess type of girl, and Grace was like the alternative, misunderstood girl in the background, and dare I say, it was kind of giving Paige and Alex a little bit. Just a little bit. You guys know the first couple of seasons of Next Class were very cringe, so there were only a few aspects at that point that were keeping me afloat, and Zoe and Grace were one of them. Just the vibe that they gave off was really cute, something that I wanted to see more of. So when Grace said that she had a crush on Zig, I was like, huh? Because Zig just doesn't strike me as the type of guy Grace would have a crush on. Grace was very intelligent, independent, very straightforward, so her having a crush on a literal himbo pretty boy just didn't really fit her character. I thought it was an interesting twist of events though, nonetheless. And then lastly, you mentioned how Zoe and Rasha fell flat in comparison. I agree with this. You guys know I love Zoe and Rasha. They were actually my number 10 couple in the last video I did, just because I liked how simple and cute their relationship was, but in comparison to what Grace and Zoe could have been, I do agree that it kind of falls flat. Next, I remember seeing an interview with Jake and Adamo where they talked about one of the original ideas for Craig was for him to be bisexual and eventually have a relationship with Marco. I really wish that was something the writers had actually explored because their chemistry was great and that scene of them kissing lives in my head rent free. I don't know, this is one that I always kind of go back and forth about. Marco and Craig are one of my favorite friendships in the show, so I just don't really know if I would have wanted them to be anything more. Like, I just really love them as besties and I'm satisfied with that. Now, one character I do wish they would have greenlit on the bisexual storyline is Peter. I heard they were supposed to, do something similar with Peter, but ended up scrapping it and just giving him the storyline that we have with Riley. But I really wanted to see bi Peter. Like, I wanted to see it. Riley was always getting mad at Peter and getting all up in his face, and I'm just like, just kiss maybe? Just kiss. But in all seriousness, I do think it would have been interesting to dive into that with Peter, but the writers said, no, let's wait until we have another character who is rich with daddy issues. So then we got Miles. Cam's suicide was sad, but it would have had more of an impact if we could have seen more than just the 2-3 episodes dedicated to him. They could have explored into his last moments at least. All his stories were surrounding someone else, Dallas or Maya, so it sucks they kind of made him a disposable character. I'm gonna have to disagree with this. I definitely feel like Cam's storyline was handled really well in comparison to some of the other heavy storylines. For instance, it really annoyed me how Emma's ED storyline only happens in like literally 2 episodes and is never brought up again after that. I think she mentions it to Sean like once when he comes back, but after that it's just never talked about again, and that happens pretty often in Degrassi with a lot of heavy storylines. They'll just make it a 2-part episode and then be like, okay, next piece of trauma, next character. Like, no, can we dive a little bit deeper, please? But for Cam's story, I don't feel like this was the case at all. Like, yeah, there was Bittersweet Symphony part 1 and 2, but Cam's character goes way beyond just those 2 episodes before and after he does what he does, and afterwards we see the effects of it in so many characters throughout a number of episodes. It just has a longevity that like followed characters in a really significant way, especially Maya throughout multiple seasons, even all all the way to next class. So even though there were only 2 episodes that were quote unquote dedicated to him, the overall impact that Cam was supposed to have, I feel like, was conveyed pretty well. I wish they did more with Sav after having him date Holly J rather than put him with one of the teachers. Yes, I really like Sav. He was a pretty solid character, and after a while, I feel like they just didn't know what to do with him, so they put him with Holly J, and then they ran out of even more ideas, so put him with a teacher, and it's just like, maybe not. Let's not do that. But yeah, he had so much potential to be something more. Did he even have like friends towards the end of his time on the show? Because I know in seasons 7 to 9 he was friends with Danny and Peter, but once they left, who was he friends with? Like, they tried to establish something between him and Drew and Eli and Adam, but that dynamic just really didn't work out. It didn't feel right. It would have just been nice to see him with more guy friends who were in his grade. I really enjoyed his little storyline with Anya with the fake pregnancy. That was really funny, but after that his character just kind of falls flat, and it's really sad because I wanted to see him, you know, develop a crew and have a lot more drama and conflicts and just more. Like, he was way too cute to have been underutilized like that. But you know what? I'm glad we have him now in Ginny and Georgia. He's just way too handsome to not be on our screens. Like, just look at him. And I really ship him in Georgia, by the way, and I want her to be in-game with him, but that's the wrong show. So moving back to Degrassi, I actually got a few Degrassi doesn't need a reboot comments. Now, this is a hot one because I know a lot of Degrassi fans are usually always advocating for a reboot. I mean, this is a show that has literally thrived off of reboots. There are 4 installments of the show, so it seems like it would make perfect sense to do another reboot for the next generation of teens and young adults. As we all know, there was an HBO reboot that was announced, but it sadly got scrapped. I was definitely sad about this because I did want a reboot, and I still do, because I just feel like it's been a while since we've had a truly impactful teen drama. I liked Sex Education, but that's over. I really like Ginny and Georgia, which can dang near count as a Degrassi reboot at this point because there's so many Degrassi actors in it. But yeah, I haven't really been blown away by any of the recent teen dramas. I feel like doing another Degrassi installment could potentially be great, but at the same token, there have been a lot of questionable reboots happening in the past couple of years, and I'm sure we're all sick of it. Like, stop rebooting everything, and Degrassi definitely does not need to be added to that list just for the sake of rebooting it. And so if it's going to be rebooted, it needs to be done with a lot of care and a lot of research to the same themes and tones of the past installments. Like, if they reboot it and just like Euphoria-fy it, I'm sure fans would not appreciate that. So what do you guys think? Craig and Ashley are entertaining as HE double hockey sticks. Yes, 100%. Craig and Ashley lore is honestly some of my favorite content of the whole show. Like, I know when I see these two on the screen together, it's going to be good. Like, I'm grabbing a popcorn, a drink, and I'm locking in because it's going to be good. And not even just on an entertainment standpoint, I just really liked them together as a couple. Like, of course there was a lot of obvious toxicity, but when they got back together the second time around, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was nice how she was there for him while he was dealing with his mental health, and I liked the cute bond that they shared over music. I just really liked their aesthetic together. Like, erase all of the Manny cheating drama, and Craig and Ashley just really give that cool, chill, laid back grunge rock couple that you kind of just want to third wheel all the time and be friends with. Is it anyone else, or is it just me? Manny and Emma deserved each other as friends. They were both mean to each other and mean to other people. Ooh, so I know this one can be tricky for a lot of people, for me included. Obviously, both Manny and Emma made mistakes in the friendship. Manny oftentimes did not think about how her actions affected others, and Emma was just very self-centered and self-righteous a lot of the time. And I know it can seem like Manny just has like a lot of writers and Emma has a lot of haters. I mean, you guys know I am an Emma hater, but overall, I do believe that Emma was just the worst friend. And like I said, I'm not saying Manny is just completely blameless and right all the time and the perfect friend, but I do think overall she was just a nicer person. She was able to easily make friends outside of the main crew. Emma, on the other hand, did not have many friends outside of that crew, and there's a reason for that. That's all I'm saying. And this brings me into another opinion where someone said Claire and Allie's friendship was more toxic than Emma and Manny's. I don't know about this one. I am a little bit rusty just because I haven't really rewatched in a little while, so I don't remember exact precise details of what went down in each friendship, but I can only recall really one falling out between Allie and Claire, and that was when Allie and Jake kissed. If there were any other incidents, let me know in the comments. I mean, I definitely agree that they were toxic in the sense that Claire often made things about herself a lot, just like Emma, but for the most part, I do feel like they were pretty supportive of each other. Emma and Manny, on the other hand, were literally like always at each other's throats, like every season. There was shaming, victim blaming, backstabbing. Like, you just compare the two friendships, I feel like Emma and Manny just definitely come out on top in terms of toxicity. 2016 was the best class and the best characters besides Claire's or Eli's class. I wouldn't say they're the best. I think forever and always the best classes will be 2006 to 2007, but 2016 was solid. I mean, Miles is one of my favorite characters in the entire show, so the fact that he's in that class just adds a lot of extra points. And then also the fact that Maya's storyline in season 3 of Next Class really resonated with me a lot, so that adds a lot of points as well. And every time season 13 rolls around, I do find myself getting a little excited because I know this is when class of 2016 starts to make their mark, so they are iconic in my book. But again, I don't know if I would say the best because we have some big competitors like class of 2013, Eli, Bianca, class of 2014, Allie, Drew. Like, they're just some big steppers in each class, and I just love them all in different ways, so it's kind of hard to rank them in a certain order. Season 7 was Degrassi's best and most emo season. I mean, I definitely agree with you on the emo part. There was just a very dark tone to this season. All those scary Lakehurst students coming in and JT being freshly gone, Spinner's haircut, like, it was just very dark. This season did also have a few gem storylines to come out of it, like Darcy's assault and Spinner's cancer are two that I really liked. So yeah, I did actually quite like the different direction that they took with this season, but I wouldn't say it's the best just because season 7 really annoys me as well. A lot of bad hairstyles, bad outfits, terrible characters, terrible relationships, and it just would have been a lot better if these little simple things had been fixed. I definitely didn't hate season 7, but I didn't love it either. Alright, we're gonna do one last opinion. Tori should have been put in the limelight instead of Zoe. Yeah, I'm always flooded with curiosity on how Tori's character would have ended up had she stayed all the way to the end of Next Class. I think she would have made an amazing it girl. I mean, Zoe definitely gave a version of that, at least for me. I know a lot of people hate Zoe, but we were definitely missing like the Manny, Allie-esque it girl type of vibe, if you guys know what I mean. So that's gonna be the end of this video. And for those who made it this far into the video, let me know down below in the comments what you guys would think of me starting another channel, like where I do kind of relaxing vlogs, day in the life videos where I actually, you know, show my face. I actually used to be a YouTuber before I started this channel. I kind of just started this channel as a joke and it took off, but I, you know, want to get back into vlogging and things like that. So if you would be interested in heading over there, I just kind of wanted to soft launch that. Yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching and I will see you in my next video.